Hello everyone, I'm Jake Seo, the head of Ba른수면인터뷰 Institute. For today's Ba른수면인터뷰 interview, we are joined by a truly incredible guest. He was drafted to KBL in 2012 and became a naturalized Korean citizen in 2018 and has made a significant impact in Korean pro basketball history. He is a seasoned ace player who is a member of Jeonju KCC Aegis and plays center on the Korean national basketball team. Without further ado, let me introduce KBL super player, Ragona, who dominates games with exceptional performances. It's off-season right now. How have you been lately?
I've actually been doing a lot of rehabbing. I'm really good mentally, but trying to catch my body up. I had a tear in my knee and have got diagnosed with tendonitis in my left wrist. So I'm out right now. So unfortunate that I have to miss the Japan friendly games. But after that, I'll be back with the national team and ready for the Asian games, doing rehab and things like that so I can get my body right and get prepared for the upcoming Asian Games.
And Choi Jun-young recently joined KCC, and KCC now boasts star players such as Houng, Choi Jun-young, Lee Seung-yeon, Song Kyo-chang, and Yu Ragona. So some people even refer to them as the first super team in the KBL. What are your thoughts on this?
I don't know. I think that we have to win before we can call ourselves like a super team. But the roster is very, very good. And I kind of think that Mobis, when I was on Mobis with Donggun, Hamji, and Dash would be like the first super team, in my opinion. And maybe this would be like the second one, but we won the championship. So if we win the championship this year, then I would consider us being a super team.
I would like to ask a question about your head coach, Jeon Chang-jin. He is very well known for his strong leadership and good communication skills. What do you think about him?
I feel like he's a good guy, kind of old school traditional Korean coaching style. I feel like him and Coach Yu Ha is kind of similar. Two legends, two winners, two champions. They do like to make sure that they're engaged with the players, and especially us foreign players. They always come up to us like, if you have any problems, just come to me. Sometimes we don't feel comfortable. Like, even myself, like I don't feel comfortable, like
because he's a head coach.
Yeah, it's like just going up to him, talking to him. But he wants me to do that, so I gotta still get better at going up to him. I feel like he's a good guy, and I actually want to, thank him for when I got traded. He was, and then when I was available the last time, he was actually KCC was the only team that tried to get me. So I really want to try to win a championship with KCC, for him, for the fans of KCC, and just for myself also, to show that I can still do it.
I'd like to hear about your time as a player in the United States. How did you initially get into basketball, and was there a moment when you realized you had a talent for basketball?
I grew up in Hampton, Virginia. Just was born with my mom. I didn't have my father. When I was growing up, I would try to play sports to try to stay out of trouble. And I started with track first. I was introduced to running track by my PE teacher. I actually beat him. He wanted to race the students outside, and I beat him. And I was only in the 5th grade. So he was surprised, like, whoa, you have amazing speed for such a young man. So he said he knew his best friend was a track coach. So he told him about me, and then I ended up being on the track team, and I actually won a lot. Got some medals and some trophies. But after that, my best friend, I used to always race him, and he was a basketball player. So he said, okay, you always beat me at track. Now let's do my sport, which was basketball. So I played him in basketball, and my first time I beat him. So after that, I was like, I think this sport is much better than track. So I just decided to stick with basketball. So after that, I just play every day, getting better and better and better. And this was in the 6th grade. So by the time I was 8th grade, I was kind of like a star. After 2 years, I was becoming a very good player, a star. So I started playing in my high school, became the star of my high school. Then I got a scholarship to junior college. Then I transferred to University of Missouri. Then after that, I had a good college career.
What was it like during your junior college and University of Missouri years?
It was great. I think I chose the perfect junior college because it was the same setup as Missouri. a lot of junior colleges don't really take care of their players. Sometimes you have to find your own housing, you have to pay for housing, you have to pay for food. But my junior college was good. They provide us with our own apartment. They provide us with food. We had a meal plan. They provide us with like monthly per diem money just to have, because they know like mostly junior college players, like our families and stuff are not financially stable, so they try to help us out the best they can by going by the books. It made it a real easy transition for me to transfer to University of Missouri after I graduated with my associates, because it was pretty much the same thing, but just a bigger scale. Like my junior college was a small school, but they took great care of us. Then I went to a really big school that was always on ESPN, always on SportsCenter. So it was a smooth transition, but it was great. And the level of competition is pretty drastic. When I was in junior college, I was 2-time All-American. When I went to Missouri, I ended up making like second team All Big 12, and I was projected to get drafted in the second round. So I think I had a pretty good career, and then it led me to Korea, and then I've been here ever since.
And you entered the KBL stage as a foreign player in 2012 and acquired Korean citizenship as Lagona through the special naturalization program in 2018.
Right.
And what brought you first to Korea?
I'd say that, of course, the pay here is very good. It's a very safe country, doesn't have drugs, doesn't have guns, like stuff that you have to worry about other places you don't have to worry about here. That was the main thing, like just being safe, because I wanted to be a player that just find the destination and then just stay. I know most foreign players, they play country to country, maybe Korea this year, Japan this year, Germany, Australia. I wanted to just find one place, safe place that I'm comfortable, and just stay and just retire there. And I think that I'm on the path to doing that, and I think that this was the perfect place, especially after my first year. I experienced the professional basketball with Mobis, and then I ended up winning the championship. So they signed me back, and then I won the championship again my second year, and they signed me back again. So I was like, I think that this is, by my third year, I was pretty much a lock. I was like, this is the place for me.
KCC finished the 2022 and 2023 season in 6th place, failing to advance to the semifinals. And were there any aspects you felt were better than before or could have been improved during the last season?
I feel like we could have played a lot better. We had a lot of injuries, so we was never really a whole team. We had our point guard G1 was out for a while, Houghton was out for a while, and I played injured. The injuries I have now, I had last season, so I wasn't able to play up to the best of my ability either. I think the injuries really affected us, but we still did what we had to do to advance to the playoffs. I feel like we were kind of like an underdog team. Like a lot of people expected us to do a lot better than we did, but during the season, people were thinking that we wasn't that good. We wasn't even gonna make the playoffs. So I think that we still did a good job considering all the injuries that we had. We still fought hard and tried to do our best for the fans.
Even though you had small injuries, you have managed to play every game without any absences recently. Compared to other players, what is your secret to consistently staying on the court without any major injuries?
I would say staying tough mentally, because it's pain there, but I just ignore it. Just staying strong mentally. Like if your mind is strong, then your body can be strong too. So I would say that, and also like a lot of weight training. I work really hard in the weight room to compensate. Maybe if my knee is bothering me, then I would try to strengthen around the knee, strengthen my hamstrings, my quads, and my calf muscles, strengthen stuff that's around it so it can take on the impact of the knee. Just stuff like that, making sure you're in good condition in the weight room and making sure that your mind is in great condition also can help a lot.
Wow, it's like a meditation.
Yeah. Just find things like that to make sure that you're strong and just sacrifice for your team, you sacrifice for your coaches, you sacrifice for your family, and sacrifice for the fans.
In February, for the first time in KBL history, you reached 6,000 rebounds, setting a significant milestone in Korean basketball. And based on where things are now, you could probably aim for the #1 spot in the KBL's all-time scoring as well.
Yes.
And what do these stats mean to you personally?
It's amazing to me. I never thought that my plan was to find somewhere and stay my whole career, but I didn't really know if it was going to happen. I'm still here and I'm able to beat a legend like that in rebounds. If I'm able to, pass them in points too, that would be another great milestone. For me, it's more so about just my daughter being proud. So when she gets older, I know when we move back to the States, everybody's gonna be like, "Why did you were born in Korea? Like, what were you doing?" So she can say, my dad played basketball, my dad did this, my dad is considered like a legend in basketball. Now she doesn't understand like why people want to take pictures with me and stuff, but I feel like when she gets older, she'll be like, "Whoa, so you were pretty good."
In 2019, when Korea lost many games in the FIBA Basketball World Cup, and you gave Korean basketball an F,
Yeah.
highlighting the persisting somewhat military culture in sports. And does that F still hold today?
I think that when I said it, it went like the wrong way. I was saying the way that we performed was like an F because I felt that we are a better team than what we showed. But I think the way that it came out, it was like really negative. Our team is maybe for that big of a stage, maybe like B, C, but we play like F because we lost to like China by like maybe, I don't remember, maybe 4, and we lost to like Russia by like 8. So I was like, if we beat those guys,
got it.
we show like the Korean basketball, but we didn't. So I said our performance was F, but not our team.
So I believe you are quite familiar with training in the States, like
Right.
NBA team style. So
Right.
what's the big difference between NBA team and Korean team?
I would say rest. It's a lot more rest in the States. I know when I was in college, like we would do weights for like 45 minutes before we go to class. And then in the afternoon, we'll have a practice for like 1 hour, 30 minutes. And we would just get after it for 1 hour, 30 minutes, and then it's done. But here we got like schedule like 10 to 12, and then 4 to 6. And then sometimes you might have 8 to 9:30 p.m. So I feel like it was a little bit more free. Like we could, depending on like your physique, like if you have a good body, then you don't have to have a program. But if you out of shape and you don't really understand, then the trainers would make a program for you. But here everybody kind of does the same thing. It's like everybody has different body types, but we do the same workout. So it's like it kind of doesn't make sense to me, like why I would do the same workout as you when we have 2 different body types. It's more body specific in the States. Instead of everybody just doing one certain thing, it would be like this trainer works with these guys because they have similar body types or similar goals. Like, what's your goal? Do you want to lose weight? Do you want to gain weight? Do you want to maintain? So I feel like according to your body type or according to your goals, like that's how they should determine like what you do in the gym or in the weight room instead of just everybody just doing the same thing.
And recently, more and more basketball players are interested in skill training. They even go to the stage to get skill training.
Yeah, that's also the other thing. They don't really work on the skill stuff here in Korea. It's like you have to do that like, on your own. Usually, especially on the national team, we're not like really allowed to do like the one-on-one type of stuff, but we are allowed to come back at the night, and do it. But at practice, like we have to do the plan of the coach, whatever the plan is. Like we can't really go outside of it. So I feel like in the States, it's kind of more open to like playing free, working on skill stuff. But here it's like, just structure. Everything is structured. This is the plan every day. I think that's the other big difference. But it's good that, players want to work on that stuff because the game is evolving of basketball. It's not the same as it was. Not even when I was a rookie, the game has changed. Like players are a lot more skilled, players are more athletic, and players shoot a lot more threes now than when I was a rookie. Even bigs now, like even me, like I started shooting threes. I never would shoot a 3-pointer when I was a rookie. So I feel like the game is changing. I feel like kind of here in Korea, we kind of not really changing with the game. Everywhere else, we kind of still like staying kind of the same. So I feel like when we, start to evolve too, I see the players want to. That's why guys are going, some guys are changing countries or doing skill training in other countries and learning about skill training and then bringing it back to Korea, which I feel like that's great.
Despite some areas of improvement, what are the positive aspects of Korean basketball?
I feel like that structure structure is not bad. Yeah, because sometimes the structure is great. It teaches you discipline and teaches you respect. So I feel like it's good too. Like, because sometimes players in the States, like, we lack that. We lack discipline. And sometimes, like, our coaches, I feel like the coaches here in Korea are strict, but I feel like some of the coaches in the States are too nice. So you kind of, like, don't respect them. Sometimes you feel like it's, like, your teammate. So I feel like Korean basketball has that, like, that discipline. It can be, like, you know, frustrating at times. Like, man, I'm tired of doing the same thing every day, but it also teaches you discipline. That's why me and my wife was talking about we want to get our daughter into more sports because she's so athletic, so strong. So we want her to learn that discipline. Like, you have to wake up early in the morning and get your workout. Like, we have her now, like, she wakes up every morning, she jump ropes. Now she's starting to ride her bike. I got the discipline. Like, if I have, like, a bad night, I know 8 o'clock in the morning, I got to wake up because I have to drive to practice, get my practice in. It's just that discipline has taught me, like, kind of like a robot. It's like, I know this is what I got to do. I got to be in the good mood so I can go have a good practice. So I feel like the discipline aspect here is like perfect too. It teaches you like things that you need to know about life.
After finishing last year's Asian Cup, you mentioned retiring from the national team after this year. Has your stance remained unchanged on the retirement from the national team?
I just said that because of my contract. My contract is until, I think, next May. So according to that, like, that'll be my last time being able to be on the national team. So I'm not really sure what type of rules they're going to do, if they want to try to keep me or if they're going to look for someone else because, you know, I'm getting up there in age a little bit. So I don't know. It's really not up to me, but according to my contract that I signed in 2018, like, I'll be done on May 31st. And then, you know, some other countries were like kind of interested in if I'm available to play in other countries. So I have to tell them, like, I don't know what's gonna happen, but I know, like, according to my contract, May 31st, free agent.
Yeah, definitely you love Korean team, but
Right.
there is a contract.
Yeah, it's a contract. So, and I understand it's business at the end of the day. So I just roll with it. Whatever happens. It'll all be for the best.
In recent interviews, you mentioned that your retirement is approaching and acknowledged that your performance is not what it used to be. An athlete, especially your age, is bound to experience an aging curve. How are you coping with such aging curve?
I think for me, the biggest is like playing with pain. So I think at the time I was really down on myself and I was like kind of becoming depressed because when you play, when you know you're able to do more, but your body won't allow you to. And mine wasn't so much of age, it was just playing through so many injuries and then just trying to fight. When I was younger, when I would play through the injuries, like, I was able to ignore it better. But now that I'm older, I can't really ignore it as much as I want. So it kind of was affecting me and, you know, had me like really down and stuff like that. So now last year I did some therapy and I don't drink anymore. I stopped drinking in October, so I'm almost like 1 year without having a drink. So, and I plan on continuing to stay sober. So, to see if that, you know, helps my body heal, because I know that like alcohol and stuff like slows the process of healing. So, you know, I just did like stuff like that to, you know, kind of age slower. Now I'm trying to lose weight. And I feel like those three things, like especially therapy, stop drinking, and drop your weight, will help you a lot, especially with your confidence. And I feel like, yeah, like confidence too is a big thing. So I got to get my confidence back, and then I will feel like, you know, myself, because I don't feel like I'm old. I feel like I'm still like in my lower prime, but I can see like, you know, like I still want to play like another 6 years, but even if it comes to the point when I'm playing backup, I still think that I could be like a really good backup for somebody, especially helping out a younger guy, being in his ear, and, you know, if he gets frustrated, I can let him know about the style of Korean basketball and help him have a bridge with the coach so they won't, you know, be butting heads and stuff like that. And then when he's not having a good game, I come in there, do my job, and get back out. Like, so I feel like I can at least do that for another, hopefully 5-6 years. So yeah, I think for me it's about mostly just get my confidence back and not thinking about, you know, getting older. Because if you think about it, then you started to feel like that.
I remember Choi Jun-young mentioned you in his interview. Choi Jun-young wants you to be stronger.
Right. Yeah.
So what do you think about that?
That's good because he knows, like he's one of the people that knows about, how many injuries and stuff I've played through. I feel like if I was still, my body was 100%, I would still be the same guy I was maybe 4 years ago. But playing with so many injuries, it's tough. It's just like, and then like in your head, like, yo, I'm much better than what I'm able to show, or I'm much better than this guy that I'm going against. But people maybe think like, oh, like he's slowing down, he's not that good. Actually, I'm hurt, I'm in pain. But I don't want to just use excuses to the media, and the media is going to say what they want to say anyway. Like, a gun is old. Well, no, a gun is hurt. If you go to the doctor with me, you see. But I never complain. I just play. Even when the coach would say like, are you okay? I always say, yeah, I'm good. I just say like, yeah, I'm okay, and then I just play. But sometimes I think that if I can go back, I would tell my younger self, when you are hurt, get out. Just get out the game. Just take better care of your body, because it'll help you in the long run. Because now I feel like some of that stuff from even years ago is like creeping. Because I actually got, with my diagnosis on my knee, they said I have a tear, but it keeps tearing. It heals a little bit, and then I have to start playing again, so it tears again. And then it heals a little bit off season, and then I have to play again, it tears. So it's just a cycle, because I don't have a long enough break, because I played the national team and then KCC, the national team and KCC, so I never have enough time to heal. Now, this is the longest break I've had in a while. I talked to the coach, I talked to my coaches, and they both coaches with the national team and with KCC, they were both like trying to, give me enough rest so I can, be the best player I can be. So hopefully this year I'll be, in my best condition and be able to show a better performance than I did the last 2 years, because my body should be feeling better.
And you have been wearing number 20 for quite a while now. What does jersey number 20 mean to you?
I actually had a few numbers when I was growing up. I used to wear 25, but I don't know. That was just like the biggest one, because I was the tallest, so that's why I got 25. Then I wore 33, and that was the same. I wore 23 because Michael Jordan before, and then I wore 10 because my mom's birthday is April 10th. But when I got to Mobis, they have number 10 retired. So I decided to pick 20 because my birthday is February 20. And it's crazy now because like my wife's birthday is January 20. So we both have 20. So it makes that number even more significant to me.
You had a game even in North Korea.
Yeah,
it was amazing game, yes. Can you share your stories?
And as far as North Korea, that was pretty cool. I actually didn't want to go.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
It's so much scary, right?
Yeah, it's kind of scary and it's weird. And then I heard like only Dennis Rodman is like the only like American black guy that's allowed there. So I guess I'm the second now. So it's like, yeah, it was weird, scary. And I felt like this was really like I know it was like peace for unity. So I really was thinking like this is the real Korean, like pure Koreans. Like I'm not like pure Korean. I'm just, I'm just kind of like here. Like, but I was thinking like, yeah, you guys go and I'll cheer for you from from my apartment. Like, they're like, no, you Korean too.
Sure.
You're with us.
Yeah, sure.
So it was a cool experience to say like I did it. It was crazy to see like how actually talented those guys. But I hear that they practice like much more than us. I think like max we practice like maybe 6 hours, maybe like, but them, I think they practice like 8 to 10 hours a day. Those guys, they're actually pretty skilled guys. They're athletic. They was like a lot smaller than us. I could tell that they like well coached. They work hard, but you can tell too that they don't know anything but North Korea, because like they was looking at the interactions between me and like Choi and me and Dash, and they was like curious, like, yo, like, y'all have this guy on your team? Like, how? Like, and then some of those guys would come over and like, say like hello to me and stuff like that. Yeah, because we had the dinner after the game. So some of those guys were asking them questions like, where is he from? And why is he in the NBA, and asking stuff like that. But I could tell like they were intrigued, like wanting to know more about me and how life is in South Korea. It was definitely a cool experience. I don't know if I would do it again, but it's good to say I was able to do that. And it's like another thing for my daughter. It was a cool experience.
Your contract with KCC will run out in May 2024. Right. And have you set any plans or personal goals for when your contract with KCC ends?
No, I'm trying to decide. I'm trying to see what the KBL is going to do about me now, because according to my contract, I'm supposed to count as full Korean after this contract is up. So I'm not really sure if they'll abide by the contract or try to change some rules or just kick me out. So I don't really know, but I am, trying to keep in contact with my agent just in case stuff doesn't work out here. But if it's up to me, like, I want to be here. I want to retire here. And, my family loves here too. Like, we don't want to have to adjust to another country after we know Korea. We are Korean pretty much, especially like me and my daughter was born here. So we look at ourselves as being, Korean somewhat, so we don't want to have to try to adjust to somewhere else. But we are keeping it in the back of, I do keep it in the back of my mind, like I could end up having to look for somewhere else to play if things don't work out as I would like it to. Okay,
you haven't decided yet, but you are doing your best.
Right.
And now is the time when proper physical fitness management becomes more crucial. And are there any self-care tips or sleep strategies that you usually practice?
I practice like my breathing, like before going to sleep. It's like it's kind of like with track too, like into your nose and out of your mouth, and try to slow down my heart rate before I go to sleep. I used to be really bad with sleeping because especially like with being an athlete, like your adrenaline is always like so high, like so especially like after practice I would be okay to go to sleep, but after games, like I would just stay up until maybe 3.
Game ends in the evening.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah. If you have like 7 p.m. game, like I would stay
You're
up.
Very high.
Yeah, it's hard to come down. So I would stay up till maybe 3, 4 a.m. And then the next day, like we got practice at 10, but I have to wake up at 8. I try to practice like, sleeping, like breathing exercises before I go to sleep so I can, sleep comfortably and stuff like that. But that's pretty much the only thing. And usually I would try to cut off my devices, cut off the phone, cut off the iPad, and just relax so you can get the best sleep possible.
If you have any sleep problem, please visit us. Yes, Sleep Institute.
Yeah, I know you guys are the best with that. I've definitely been able to sleep a lot better since I've, purchased from you guys. But my bed is actually pretty similar to the one I have in the States, so it's perfect, yeah.
We actually analyzed the 5-star hotel mattresses and then manufacture our mattress, so that's why, yes.
Yeah, you have all the secrets to really getting like the best sleep. It's good because athletes really need sleep. Like we got to stay rested so our body can recover, our muscles can recover. So sleep is very important. It's just as important as working out in the gym. A lot of people don't know that sleep recovery is the best. The sleep leads to the recovery for your muscles so they can build. Like you work out in the gym, but then you got to sleep so it actually can build up. I think it's working out, eating, and sleep is the most important things to actually have that physique that you really desire.
And what do you think is playing good basketball?
I feel like playing good basketball is being happy, being confident, just being yourself on the court, like how you are outside the court, show that on the court. I noticed that a lot of fans, a lot of people think that I'm like super aggressive, like because they see me play basketball. Especially when I was younger, I would never smile, would never joke.
You're always very serious.
Yeah, serious. Yeah. So now I try to show like fun side, laugh sometimes in the game and joke around with the players and stuff. And now I've noticed that the fans are more faster to come up to me and ask for pictures and stuff like that because they think I'm that same guy. But I'm like, no, that's just my job. It's like a character. Like that's my job, that I have to be like a Hulk on the court in order to be the best player that I could be. So I feel like, just being super confident, being happy and having fun is like probably the most important things to become the best player you can be. Because if you're having fun, you're enjoying what you're doing. I wake up every morning and look forward to going to play basketball every day because now I'm having fun with it.
And this would be our last question. What is basketball to Ragona?
Basketball to me is, I have to say, everything. Without basketball, I don't know where I would be in life. I grew up really pretty bad. I didn't have my father. I was from a bad neighborhood that had like a lot of crime and stuff like that. But basketball got me out. It was able to help me go to school for free. It was able to help me come live in a country I never thought that I would be in. If I didn't have basketball, I wouldn't have been able to, I don't think I wouldn't have been able to meet my wife. We probably wouldn't have been in the same spot, like to meet. So that would have made me not be able to have my daughter. It's the best thing that ever happened to me. And, you know, I'm grateful. That's why I try to go out there and play it to the best of my ability to try to give that love back to the game that the game gives me.
And before we go, could you say a word to your fans?
To the great fans of the KBL, to the fans of me, to the fans that I have from since I was a rookie on Mobiz, Samsung, KCC, national team, and even other teams that come up to me. It's a lot of fans that say, like, I'm a DB fan, but I'm your fan. So I just appreciate you guys for always sticking with me through the ups and the downs, through my best seasons, my worst seasons. This has been a long journey. And I just want to ask that you continue to support me, and thank you. If you see me out, ask for autograph or picture, hugs, anything. Just whenever you see me, just don't be afraid. I know I may look intimidating, but I'm not an intimidating person. Just come up to me and you know, let's have a conversation. So I just want to say thank you for showing love to me, and not only me, but my teammates, my family. Just want to say we love you guys. I want to go out there every day and play my best so that I'm able to show that love back.
All right, we had a great interview with Laguna. We had the opportunity to learn about Laguna's basketball philosophy and his strong passion for Korean basketball. As a basketball fan who has enjoyed watching Laguna play, conducting this interview was truly a meaningful time and honor for me. I hope this video is also meaningful for all our fans to watch. We look forward to seeing Laguna's incredible play. And with that, we will conclude today's Barenslab interview. Thank you everyone for watching.